All right, Khan. All right, Shalom, Shalom. First and most, I want to give all praises, glories, honors to Abanawa Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. The honors be to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who have taught us this truth through the Spirit. Peace and much love and salutations to the whole elect of Israel, you so-called Negroes, the Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the children of Israel according to the Bible. High time we got a seat. Year 2023, the whole year of prophecy. All right. In today's lesson, we're gonna deal with the new wine, the old wine, and the oil. All right, and we're gonna understand what the new wine is. Which the new wine is what you call a new understanding in the scriptures, right? Meaning you can't stay. The new wine represents you can't stay in the same exact place when you were a year ago or 2 years ago. You learn, you increase in the spirit, right? And that old wine is those old things that you may have knew, and you increase, you get better, and you get more skillful in the milk of the word of Yahweh Bashim Shai. And a lot of guys are on, like I said, like you could say in Luke chapter 5, Luke 5 and 37 says, let me grab it real quick. This is Luke chapter 5 and 37. This is Luke chapter 5, verse 37. And no man putteth a new wine into old bottles, else the new wine will burst the bottles and spill, and the bottle shall perish. So you can't put. So it's going to say, and no man. So like it. Just it's like these damn ads, man. It's like it.
You use my Old Spice body wash.
I'm not letting.
But anyway, this is Luke chapter. So this is Luke chapter 5, verse 37. And no man putteth new wine into old bottles, else the new wine will burst. The bottles and spill, and the bottles shall perish. So you can't put new wine in old bottles. And see, a lot of guys are old bottles, man. You can't put new wine in old bottles. Verse 38. But new wine must be put in new bottles, and both are preserved. No man also having drunk old wine straightway desireth new, for he saith the old is better. So basically, when you come into this truth, right, you have to be in the spirit of learning. So everything that you learn in the world has to go out the window. Everything that you learn in school has to go out the window. Everything your mother, father, everything you learn in the world has to go out, has to leave, because you can't be that old wine. You can't be that old bottle, because what's going to do is going to burst. You have to be that new wine in that new bottle, which means you have to be able to be what? To be able to be learned. To be able to one that teach you. A lot of guys coming to this thing, they get to the point when they become old wine. When you can't teach them no more, they become unteachable. They become like, yeah, I already know what I already know. This is my understanding. The Lord dealing with me. I. But see what it is? You're old wine, brother. You're old wine, and soon that it's gonna bust, because what? You're stuck in your ways. A lot of us ain't willing to be learnt and to continue to grow. They think they get to a certain point, they get what you call stagnant, right? When you have a car and you put that bitch in neutral, it ain't going nowhere, man. A lot of dudes ain't going nowhere. All right, they're in the same position they were 3 years ago, 2 years ago. They never grown in the grace of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach. And to prove to you that we're supposed to grow. Right, let me get this real quick. In First Peter, which you all know the milk scriptures, right? First Peter's chapter 3, right? This is First Peter's real quick, chapter 3, or it's probably Second Peter's anyway. But yeah, Second Peter chapter 3 and verse 1. Second Peter chapter 3. I'm gonna get verse hold on, so like let me see verse hold on, First Peter chapter 3. It's like it. 2. Oh no, it's like it. Second Peter. It's like it. My bad. It's First Peter's chapter 2. I'm gonna start at verse 1. Wherefore, laying aside of all malice and all guile, and having in hypocrisy, and envies, and in all evil speakings, as newborn babes, desiring the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. And if so, be ye have tasted the Lord in his gracious, and grace. So this truth is this is when we read it again. First Peter 2 First Peter 2 verse 2. As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word. So this milk is sincere, right? Which is what you call the foundation of this thing, the foundations, right? The beginnings. You learn in the Israelite, you understanding, going to the 12 tribes, knowing the Hebrew, knowing all the 12 tribes in the Hebrew, knowing the names of Adam, Eve, Noah, Enoch, all in the Hebrew, and understand what those words mean, right? Just understanding the basics of the scriptures, right? Understanding precept upon precept, line upon line, the Lord, the color scriptures, right? Understanding Genesis, the first chapter, right? Understanding the stories, the history of from Genesis to all the Genesis all the way to the Book of Kings. Understanding the history, right, of our forefathers, King David, King Solomon, right? Those are what you call those are your building blocks. Those are your building block scriptures. And then when you get to a certain point, you grow and you get to what you call the meat. But you got guys that start out from the milk, but they want to jump straight onto the meat, right? Because they want to get hasty. They want it now. They want that. I want to know this. I want to know that. You got to take your time. See, this truth is living waters, right? According to St. John, what does it say? St. John 7:38. Y'all should say, he that believeth on me, out of his belly shall flow the rivers of living water. So this truth is living waters. This truth is always constantly flowing. So as you grow, you always got to constantly grow and grow and grow and grow and grow in this thing, because you're constantly growing. You're learning every day. That's what the scriptures say in I think it's what is that scripture? Slack it. Give me 1 second. I believe it's in 2 Corinthians 4:16. That your inward man perisheth, but you are renewed day by day, right? So when you're gonna tell where renew, it means to be what? To refresh. So you're constantly being refreshed every single day in this thing. You're constantly being what? You're being fine-tuned. You're growing. What does First Peter's chapter 2 say? Right? Peter said what? That ye are what? Living stones called unto what? A lively hope. So this truth is living. Y'all should I say St. John 6 and St. John 6 around like St. John 6 and 54, that what the words I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So this truth is alive. Just how we do living waters, it's a living thing. So as you partake in this truth and this knowledge, you grow. You're constantly always supposed to be elevating on new heights, because that's what this thing's all about, right? But let me get this scripture, Ecclesiastes 20 and 32. Necessary patience is seeking Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide. Right, so necessary patience is seeking the Lord is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide. So it's better to seek. It's better to have patience in the Lord. It's better to be patient. What does that mean? Necessary patience is seeking the Lord, which means you're not going to get this. You're not going to understand the whole entire book within 3 years, within 4, within 5, within 6, within 7, within 8, within 9, within this. Because why? This thing is always growing. You think you're always jumping on, you're always constantly jumping new leaps, new things you're learning, new things are coming out. And let me get that real quick. Isaiah 40. I'm gonna get that real quick in Isaiah 42 and 6, right? Because even Isaiah said that, declaring, I declare unto you. Let me get it. It's Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 6. All right, it's Isaiah chapter 42. Let me get to it real quick. And Isaiah 42, I'm going to start at verse 6. I, the Lord, have called the righteousness, and I will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light unto the Gentiles, right? Verse 7. So open, let me get to the point, right? Verse 9. Behold, the former things are come to pass. So even in the scriptures, right? Even former things that came to pass, right? Dealing with certain prophecies concerning Yahweh Shai's death, right? Certain things already came to pass in the scriptures. There's certain prophecies that the Most High already had, that the Most High already spoke about, that came to pass. So behold, the former things have came to pass, and new things do I declare before the spring of forth to the spring of forth. I'm about to get rid of this. Hold on, so like let me get this a better so don't keep going off on me. All right, let's get slacking. But this is Isaiah 42 and 9. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare before the spring forth. I tell you of them. Spring unto the Lord a new song, in his praise from the ends of the earth. Yea, that go down to the sea, and all that are in the islands and the inhabitants of therefore. So what scripture say, I declare unto you new things. Well, so there's new things to be revealed, right? And there's still things that the Most High is still revealing through us, through His Spirit. Starting with the apostles, with the elders and apostles, they revealed a lot of new things to us. Dealing with the microchip, right? Dealing with Cornelius being an Israelite, right? There's a lot of things that has been revealed through these times, dealing with the apostles. What it is from going back to 1 West, right? And all the way from now, the truth, that's what you call it, has evolved. It has evolved. And so there's more things that the Most High has brought out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashah. There's more information coming out about the tribes. Because this thing is always constantly flowing. So you got to be always constantly flowing. You gotta level up. And it's real quick. This is Philippians 3:12. And this is what Paul said, right? It's Philippians chapter 3 in verse 12. Not as though I had already obtained, we're already perfect, but I follow after, if that I may apprehend that for which also I am apprehended of Yahushua, which means apprehended means to be held down. We're held down by Yahushua. Yahushua has us captive. We're apprehended by Lord Yahushua Mashiach. Right? 13. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but these one things I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto the things which are before. So Paul said, I'm forgetting things which are behind. Right? So the things that are old, they're old. Right? And reaching and those which are behind and reaching forth unto the things which are before, I press toward the mark of the prize of the high calling of the most of Yahweh in Yahushua Mashiach. So we're constantly reaching. We're always going to new heights. There's always something to learn. There's always something that you didn't know. There's always scripture. Think about it. Every time you read the book of Isaiah, right? You might have read it one time. You might have read the whole book. You pop it open again. You read one through all the way through. I think like 60, 68 or 68. What I'm like, I can't really remember, but I think like 68 or something like that. You read all the way through 60 all the way down to the last book, and you learn more of the book than you did the first time. You got more understanding of Isaiah than you did the first time. You might read the third time. Your third time reading Isaiah will be better than the time you read the second time. Because why? You're always seeing something different, because from the last time you read the book of Isaiah, you grown. So you got an increase. When you read the book of Ephesians, you might read it one time. Okay, got a nice decent understanding. You read it again. What? You get another understanding. So you constantly, every time you go over these scriptures, you're always seeing something new pops up that you didn't see before. Because this thing is living waters. It's always constantly growing. There's always a new word to go into. There's always something new. And there's always something new in this thing. You're always learning every single day, man. So that's why you're constantly growing. So you're always pushing toward that high calling. And your house, Shemashah, what's the high calling? To be of what? The elect. Right? And to be perfect. So let me keep going. 14. I press toward the mark of the prize of the Most High. The calling of the Most High in Yahushua Mashiach. Let us therefore, as many, be as perfect, be thus minded. So have that mind of always constantly pushing forward, right? Looking for that next mark, that next high calling, looking for that next thing, right? Always looking to keep on continuing and learning more and constantly growing. Don't be stagnant. Don't be old wine. Don't be the old wine in the bottles that can't be taught. Don't be a guy that you get to a certain point in this truth and you're like, oh well, I know enough, and you get stagnant. And when you get stagnant, what the Most High do? He cast your ass out, man, because you got stagnant, right? You stayed the same. You should always be growing, right? You're always growing in the faith of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, right? Let us therefore, as many, be perfect, have thus minded. If anything ye be otherwise things ye be otherwise minded, the Most High shall reveal even this unto you. Hey, so because why? The Most High is always revealing things, man. The Most High is a power of secrets, man. Right? Let me just check the comments real quick, see if any brothers are commenting. So the Most High is always constantly doing what? He's always constantly increasing. He's always constantly revealing things. The Most High is always revealing things. And let me real quick with Wisdom of Solomon 17, 7 and 15. It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 in verse 15. It's Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 and verse 7 and 15. The Most High have granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as it is meant for the things that are given me, because it is he that leadeth unto wisdom and directeth the wise. So the Most High set you up. The Most High directed the wise. What did Daniel say in Daniel 2 and Daniel 2 and 47? Right? Daniel 2 and 20. The Most High revealed secrets. Amos 3 and 7. The Lord will do nothing, but he revealed his secrets unto what? His servants, the prophets. So the Most High revealed things, man. New things that are come. And what are the new things that come? All the prophets that the apostles push for. There's new things. And a lot of guys can't, like I said, dudes can't even understand the fact that we're still dealing under the old covenant. That we're not in the new covenant until Yahweh shall returns. Right? So the Most High revealed his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Dudes can't even understand Revelation 17th chapter, Revelation the 18th chapter, second the 14th chapter, 13th chapter, second 11th chapter, Daniel the 7th chapter. Because why this thing is a secret. Daniel the 11th chapter. Because why these Genesis the 49th chapter. You got guys that only believe that the tribes are Negro and Latino and Native descent. Niggas think that all the tribes are all Negroes. Because why? The Most High directed the wise. And what does the Most High do? He gives the wise the right knowledge and the right divine truth. Because this truth is divine from the Most High. This is divine truth. So right now, we will start with 7 and 15. The Most High have granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as it meet for the things that are given me, because it is he that leadeth unto wisdom. He directeth the wise, for in his hands are both. We are our words, all wisdom also in knowledge of workmanship. So all wisdom and knowledge coming from the Most High, right? For he have given me certain knowledge of things that are namely to know the world in the world, how it was made, in the operation of the elements. Genesis the 1st chapter, the beginning. Anyway, is it the beginning, the ending, the ending, in the midst of times? So Solomon understood what the beginning, the end. It was at the prophecies, the beginning and the end. Do we not know the beginning of creation? And do we not know the end? Do we not know the end? And do we not know the in between? So we have a good understanding of what we need to know, because why? The Most High has opened up our understanding to understand the scriptures, right? Starting with the apostles and elders, the Most High dealt with those men to break down certain secrets. So now we can now understand what we have and bring it all together in one. So now we have the full understanding of what we need. It's all has come together now, right? So we have a full understanding of the truth and of this knowledge. Okay, so the Most High revealed prophecies. Solomon understood the end of the days. We understand the end of the day. We know the beginning. We understand the beginning. This is the 1st chapter, right? So we understand the beginning and the end. All right, and that's dealing with 8. Let me real quick. Let me just grab Daniel 2 and 47. This is Daniel chapter 2 and verse 47. This is Daniel chapter 2. And Daniel's one of my favorite books. This is Daniel chapter 2 and verse 47. Right? Daniel 2 and 47. The king answered unto Daniel and said, of truth, it is that your power is a power of God's. So the king answered unto Daniel and said, of truth, is it that your God is a God of powers, and the Lord of kings, and revealer of secrets, seeing that thou couldst reveal this secret? Of doing what? Understanding Nebuchadnezzar in his dream. Daniel 7th chapter, which is going on to prophecy. That's why the Most High is a revealing of secrets. Right back to Amos 3 and 7. The Lord will do nothing, but he will reveal his secrets unto who? His servants, the prophets, man. So we understand the secrets of this Bible. Because what? We're able to understand these hidden sayings and these dark sayings. That's the oil and that's the wine, man. It's this truth. It's this knowledge. Reveal the secrets, and seeing couldst thou reveal this secret? Then the king made Daniel a great man and gave him a many great gifts, and made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon, and chiefs of governors over all the wise men of Babylon, because Most High set Daniel up on a high level. And another thing too, going right back to I said, the Most High got to set you up on a high level, man. The Lord gotta set you up on that high level. Just how we're dealing with when you go to St. John, right, 3:1, when Yahweh Shai said the new birth, right? When the Lord, when Yahweh Shai was talking to the Pharisee Nicodemus, he couldn't understand what Yahweh Shai was speaking about because what the Most High didn't give him, didn't reveal that to him, man. Right? Let me grab that real quick. This is St. John chapter 3:1. Therefore was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, the ruler of the Jews. The same came to Yahweh Shai by night and said unto him, because he was a secret disciple, Rabbi, we know that thou art the teacher come from the Most High. For no man can do these things, these miracles thou doest, except the Most High be with him. And that's so that the Pharisees, they knew that Yahweh Shai was the Messiah. They knew it, but they didn't want to give they didn't want to give up their place. The scripture say that if we give this man over, he gonna take our place, right? Yahweh Shai answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, which means truly, verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of the Most High. Nicodemus saith unto him, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's his mother's womb and be born? So Nicodemus couldn't understand what Yahweh Shai was saying because the Lord wasn't dealing with Nicodemus, man. He couldn't understand the secret, right? He couldn't understand it. He was being simple, right? Verse 3, Yahweh Shai answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of spirit, he cannot enter to the kingdom of heaven. What's that? The word. That's the word. The truth, understanding the word, the scripture knowledge, being reborn in what? In spirit and in truth. Understanding this, these scriptures knowledge, you have been reborn, right? That which is born of flesh is flesh, and that which is born of spirit is spirit. Marvel not that I say unto thee, ye must be born again. The wind bloweth there where it listeneth, and thou hearest the sound therefore, but cannot tell whence it cometh, and whether it goeth. So is everyone that is born of spirit, because the spirit comes and goes. Spirit jump on you. That's why Apostle Paul always says, strike while the iron is hot. Nicodemus answered and said unto him, how can these things be? He couldn't understand. So Lord, how can these things be? I don't understand. What do you mean? What do you mean by this? What do you mean by that which is born of flesh is flesh, and that which is born of spirit is spirit? What does that mean? Yahweh Shai answered and said unto him, art thou a master in Israel, and knowest not these things? Verily, verily, I say unto thee, we speak that we do know, and testify that with that we have seen, and receive not our witnesses. I have told you earthly things, and ye believe not. How shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things? And no man have ascended upon to heaven, but he that cometh down from heaven, even the Son of Man which is in heaven. So Yahweh Shai was deep, man. Yahweh Shai was deep. He was like, man, look, if I tell you earthly things, how you gonna be able to understand heavenly things? So in modern day terms, if you niggas can't understand that if you niggas can't understand the new covenant, how the hell you niggas gonna understand anything else? Or whatever stumbling block Jake got, man. That's a basic. That's easy. You got niggas tripping over the easy shit, man. The easy shit. You know, show you how cold the Most High is, man. Because they can't really understand the scripture. That's why you got a lot of dudes, they break down the scriptures wrong, man. You ever hear them going to a lesson, man? They breaking down scriptures wrong, they chopping up scriptures and shit. They fucking up scriptures, they just winging it. You know what I'm saying? Like not try and refine. I think it's Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is Watchers of Israel, right? They you ever seen me? They went to Saints of 11 chapter and fuck that up, man. Say it's talking about America, man. They don't understand the scriptures, right? Because they can't understand these deep sayings of the scriptures, man. That's why it's only given to the prophets to understand these things. A lot of guys, you see them, they go off a lot dealing with the scriptures, man. They go off a lot dealing with the scriptures. All right. I got a couple more. I'm gonna get one of those scriptures. This is Daniel 5:11. This is Daniel chapter 5:11. In the Hebrew, be Daniel Allah. This is Daniel. I guess I'm gonna close on Daniel. Right up. Let's see what the Spirit do. This is Daniel 5:11. Select your name. Daniel chapter 5. This is Daniel chapter 5 and verse 11. This is Daniel chapter 5 and 11. There is a man in the kingdom who is the spirit of the holy Alahims. And in the days of thy father, light and understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods, which found in him whom the king Nebuchadnezzar, thy father the king, say, thy father made minister of the Magistracies and astrologers of the Chaldeans and soothsayers. So what? So this wisdom is of God's, man. We have a God like understand, brothers. We have a God like understanding on this earth as fleshly men in the flesh. This is a godly understanding. It says right here, Daniel 5 and 11. There is a man in the kingdom in whom is the spirit of the holy gods, talking about the Most High, and is the days of the Father light in understanding and wisdom, like in the wisdom of gods was found in him whom the king Nebuchadnezzar, thy father the king, I say thy father made ministers of. So there's a wisdom. This wisdom is from God's, man. Because that scripture say Psalm 82 and 60 are God's. St. John 10 and 37 is that in your Lord that you are God's, man. So this knowledge is this is a godly understanding, you know. I could have got a couple more scriptures, you know what I'm saying? I had a couple more scriptures, but it's all right. I end off on that. I think I got the point running too long. But I'm so with that, I pray that was edifying. I want to give all praise belongs to Abanawa, Yahweh, Ba Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba Shem Kakodash. With that, Shalom.